This is a free 6-video relocation course with Costa Rica Playbook, Real Estate, and Relocation. In this course, you're gonna learn absolutely everything you need to know to relocate to Costa Rica. I have helped literally thousands of people relocate and buy property here in Costa Rica. Guys, if you need any help along the way, please don't hesitate. Reach out to our team at Costa Rica Playbook and we're here to help you out. And just remember, guys, everything in this video, when it comes to numbers, it's in US currency. And as we say in Costa Rica, pura vida, enjoy the course. Video number 2. This is preparing yourself to make the move to Costa Rica. This will be an 8-step checklist on how to make the move to Costa Rica. Checkpoint number 1, selling your house and your assets if you are looking to make the move to Costa Rica permanently. Make sure first that you research the realtor that you're gonna use, somebody who's licensed, somebody in your area that's aggressive, that will make the sale of your home a lot quicker and more efficient. Now you're saying, Mark, what about all the belongings I have? What do I do with my belongings? How do I sell them? What do I do? If you're not tech savvy and you don't use Marketplace, Kijiji, or any of those other such sort, or you don't have a big list of friends that have, deep pockets to purchase your cars, your belongings, your houses, your TVs, anything to do with your house or your business, what I would personally say is find an estate seller, auctioneer in your area, research them, make sure they're licensed. They will come in and itemize all your items for you, and then they will put it on a site for 2 weeks and then have a weekend where everybody will come pick it up, and then they would forward the funds right directly in your account so your things are sold ASAP. After step number 1, you've sold all your assets and you liquefied everything. Now it's a matter of transferring the funds. If you have European dollars or if you have Canadian dollars, you want to use a company such as Wise or Knightsbridge, or find somebody who's licensed in your area that can convert your funds over to US dollars. Now, if you use like Knightsbridge, to give you an example, or Wise, what they are, it's almost like a mortgage broker. They're gonna buy the rate for you. So they're gonna buy you a better rate. So, for Canadians, right now it's 69 cents on the dollar. But if I were to liquefy my funds in Canada, I would then contact Knightsbridge and I would see, and what they would do for 24 to 48 hour is they would hold a rate for me. So they might get me 71 cents on the dollar. So I'm gonna gain 2 extra cents, which over, anything over $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, it adds up. Every penny adds up. So make sure you do this step first. That's step number 2. Now step number 3, once you liquefied and you converted everything into US dollars, it's a matter of getting the funds here into Costa Rica. This is about setting up a bank account. The easiest way to set up a bank account in Costa Rica is to open an incorporation in Costa Rica. The way we do this is we use an accountant or we use a lawyer, and they have signing authority on your behalf in order to open up a bank account for you to allow you to transfer the funds here into Costa Rica. Now, when sending the money to your bank account here in Costa Rica, they're gonna ask you a few steps. They're gonna ask you, number 1, 6 months of bank statements. Step number 2, they're gonna ask you for a reference letter from the bank. When you open your account, where did the assets come from? So if you just did the sale of your home, make sure you have the closing documentation to the sale of your home to allow you to prove to Costa Rica where the funds came from. The biggest thing Costa Rica wants to make sure is that it's not laundered money. Step number 4. This is concerning bringing foreign pets into Costa Rica, our fur babies, our loved ones. When doing this, there is a process. The first thing you never ever do is tranquilize your pet prior to bringing them into Costa Rica. The reason being is when you get to the airport, Costa Rica wants to make sure that your pets are vigilant, that they're happy, that they're hyper, that they're not sick. Now, for Canadians, what we have to do, and I'm sure this will work for the Europeans and also for the Americans, is we have to go to the Food and Safety Inspection Board. What they're gonna ask is they have a form online, and that your vet, who you bring your pets to, has to fill out, and he has to make sure he fills it out with a blue pen. So it's very important to use a blue pen, not a black pen. They'll actually revoke it. So he'll fill it out. They want to make sure that their shots, their rabies, or everything are up to date. 10 days prior to coming to Costa Rica, flying with your pets, you want to make sure that you have the stamp of approval, because there's a life shelf expectancy for that paperwork. Basically what you're doing is you're getting the Costa Rica government, on whichever part of the world you're in, approving, saying that your pet is healthy and your pet is able to make it into Costa Rica. Okay guys, step number 5. This is the paperwork and documentation that you need if you are gonna make the move here into Costa Rica permanently. The nice thing about this is we do have lawyers in the US, we have lawyers in Europe, Dubai, and Canada that can help and facilitate everything you need to make sure your paperwork is proper. We need to have full criminal record report, fingerprints, birth certificate, long form birth certificates, and it has to be 6 months or nearer. This is the most important part. Anywhere Europe, US, and Canada, documentation has to be 6 months or nearer. If you have a deceased one and you're still claiming status for their pension, you would need their death certificate. You need to have them notarized and authenticated. Cost-wise, when doing immigration, for a single person, budget anywhere between $2,500 up to $35,000, $4,000, depending on the amount of documentation and legalized work that you need to represent you here to move to Costa Rica. Step 6, now that all your documentation and paperwork has been done and has been submitted to the lawyer on your end, it is then going to get transferred to the lawyers in Costa Rica. At this point, you will be applying for one of 3 types of residency. There's 3 categories: rentista, investor, and pensionado. The next video, we'll get into more detail of these 3 categories for you. Stay tuned. Step number 7, getting your belongings here into Costa Rica. We have a few different ways of doing this, guys. Now, somebody who has emotional attachment to their belongings might say, I want to bring everything, Mark. So we would recommend bringing a 40-foot shipping container. Now you're going to say, well, where am I going to get my hands on a shipping container? You don't have to. We have contacts here in Costa Rica that work worldwide that will actually come to your house, drop off your shipping containers, pack it for you, send it to the loading dock, and then we'll proceed with shipping your container and your valuables here to Costa Rica. Now this process can take anywhere from 3 weeks up to 16 weeks to get a 40-foot container here. A 40-foot container can vary. It can be $10,000. It can be up to $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Depending on the belongings and valuables that you hold in that container will depend on what the amount is, and the amount of weight too will also depend on what the price is going to be for the container. Now, if you don't want a 40-foot container or a 20-foot container, you might just want to bring a few belongings. So you can actually order just a pallet. The same companies that Costa Rica Playbook uses for this, they will actually ship a small pallet to your house. It'll be a 4x4 foot pallet. They will tell you the height, the requirement, and what you have to do, and then you have to shrink wrap it. This is another option. Now this option here can be from a few thousand up to $10,000. Again, depending on the valuables, because you want to ensure whatever's in that container, if anything were to happen to it. Option number 3, a lot of people go for this. They will bring their belongings with them on a plane. Now, a lot of planes have cargo planes, or if you pay for extra baggage, you can bring anywhere 15, 20, 25 bags on the plane. Yes, you are gonna pay for it. I always tell people, get big goalie bags and pack the goalie bags full of all your belongings. Then you bring it, it can be anywhere from $1,000 up to $4,000. Personally, I tell people when buying a house here in Costa Rica, start new. This is a new beginning. This is a fresh beginning. A lot of the homes do come furnished. Anything and everything you can get in the US and Canada, Europe, you can find here in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is not a third world. It's actually developing and it's becoming a second world-class country. Now, when it comes to cars in Costa Rica, the new law indicates that you're allowed to bring 2 vehicles tax-free. 2 side-by-sides, 2 pickups, 2, I don't know, Jeeps. Anything you want to bring, you're allowed to bring into the country. There are certain clauses to it though. I always recommend to people, if doing this, if you don't pay the taxes up front when it comes time to selling the car, and let's say you've had the car for 5 years, at taxes at the time, I'll give you an example, a Jeep, if they're $50,000 for taxes in 7 years, you will have to pay the $50,000 of taxes in 7 years. So there is a catch. I always tell people, if you're gonna do that, why not just purchase the vehicle here in Costa Rica? Yes, you are gonna pay more money up front, but if you don't like the vehicle after 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you can sell it. You don't have to worry about having to pay that extra bit of money in Costa Rica for the vehicle that you brought in. Step number 8, this is the final step, booking your ticket. Now, when coming to Costa Rica and you're applying for residency, or you're staying here for 6 months, what they're gonna ask you, and I don't want you to get caught last minute when you get to the airport, is they're gonna ask you for a return ticket. Now, to buy a return ticket for exactly 6 months from the day you land will be pretty costly. If you have 5 people in your family, even for yourself, I'm gonna give you guys a little tip and pointer here. There's a site called onwardstickets.com. You can actually book the day before or the morning of, you can book a ticket there. It's a legit ticket. It'll cost you $12. Now make sure that it is exactly for 180 days, and that's your return ticket to the place of origin of where you're coming from. So if you're Canadian, you're gonna put a return ticket to Pearson Airport. If you're from LA, LAX. And that is sufficient because it is a legit reserved seat on an actual plane with an actual airline. Video number 3, getting your residency. Now in this video here, we are gonna talk about the different types of residency, but we're also gonna talk about something you need to know, which is called the CAHA system. Once your documentation has landed in Costa Rica with the lawyer that we recommend for you, your lawyer will set an appointment with you. At this appointment, he will schedule for you when you have to get your fingerprints done here at Costa Rica at one of the police stations. He'll also schedule and go over all the documentation prior to submitting the documentation to the Costa Rican government to make sure that everything is in order. This way you don't get denied for your residency in Costa Rica. Now, let me explain to you briefly what CAHA is, because when we get into the different categories, I'll explain it more to you. CAHA is the universal basic health care here in Costa Rica. Any pre-existing conditions that you have prior to coming to Costa Rica, once you get approved for residency, your medication and any health care you need will be covered with the government hospitals here in Costa Rica. Now we're gonna talk about the 3 different categories of residency. Residency number 1, rentista. Rentista requires you to put $60,000 into a CD portfolio. With that $60,000 that you put in, $2,500 a month will come back to you as a monthly paycheck to yourself. Now, after 2 years, you will have to replenish the CD portfolio with an additional $60,000 because it takes 3 years to get your permanent residency. In the 3rd year, when you get your final residency, whatever money's left in that CD will automatically put back into your bank account for you. Now, when it comes for CAHA payment as a rentista, it's the highest. Your CAHA payment will be anywhere between $550 to $590 US per month, depending on the exchange rate of the clone. Number 2, pensionado. This category is for your retirees. Pensionado allows you, if you show that you make a minimum of $1,000 a month for a life pension, it will allow for you and your spouse to enter into the country and get residency as a retiree. Because the way they look at it in Costa Rica is that $1,000 a month, you should be able to support yourself for a lifespan while you're retired here in Costa Rica. The CAHA payment on this category all depends on what the monthly pension it is that you show to Costa Rica. The minimum amount's $1,000. Some people might show $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. So it can be anywhere from $150 a month for your CAHA payment, upwards to $275, $300 a month. Category number 3. This is the most famous category. This is the best category, coming as an investor. You must invest $150,000 US into either a business or into a property in Costa Rica. It can be a commercial lot, it could be land, it could be a house. This category here will allow you to go through the whole process to get your residency as a permanent resident. The beautiful part about this one here, your CAHA payment can be anywhere from $150 up to $189 a month. After 3 years, you're done. You're now a permanent resident. Your CAHA payment will drop anywhere down to $45 to $70 a month, and this is either per couple or per family. Now the requirement, if you have kids, your kids have to be 18 years of age and under in order to fall under your CAHA payment and be part of the plan that you come in as a pensionado, a rentista, or an investor. This is video number 4. In this video, we're going to talk about healthcare, taxes, education here in Costa Rica. Healthcare. How does healthcare work in Costa Rica? Once you get your temporary residency status, you will be part of the CAHA. We explained this in the previous video. The CAHA is a universal basic healthcare. It'll allow you access to the public hospitals here in Costa Rica. Medication will be covered, pre-existing conditions will be covered, and once you become a full-time resident, it's only $45 a month for your entire family. This is a good option. Option number 2 is private healthcare. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a little story. When I first got to the country here, I was doing some landscaping, and I fractured my foot because, yes, I was landscaping with sandals on. Now, at home, I would have to go sit in the ER, and I would have been there 6 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours, who knows? Costa Rica, I went to a private facility hospital in San Isidro. We have many of them located throughout the country. And within under an hour, I had blood work. I had an orthopedist there. They looked at my foot. They did ultrasounds. They did x-rays. They gave me back my blood work for me, and they prescribed me medication. This was all at the cost of $120. So when you look at efficient and cost-wise, I prefer to use the private hospitals here in Costa Rica because they're significantly cheaper, and you can talk to a specialist on a Friday and you can be in their office as early as a Saturday or the following week on a Monday. Now, the healthcare in Costa Rica is well advanced compared to North America. A lot of the equipment we have here in Costa Rica, Canada, the US, and Europe does not even have yet. You don't have to go to a doctor or a hospital to get a prescription or to get diagnosed here in Costa Rica. You can go to your nearest pharmacist. Now, the pharmacists here are all licensed. 90% of the time, they would diagnose if you go in and tell them what your symptom is, and they will prescribe you antibiotics or an alternative medication right at the pharmacist for you. Now, let's talk about dental and cosmetic surgery here in Costa Rica. Some of the best plastic surgeons worldwide are actually at SEMA or Biblical Hospital here in Costa Rica. I do know quite a few people that have flown from different parts of the world to have their operations. They are very well advanced here in Costa Rica. Dental. So to get my teeth clean, x-rayed and checked, and they don't use fluoride here in the dentist offices in Costa Rica, $59. And it's so high tech and advanced. People fly from all over the world to have their dental cosmetic surgery done, which you can have a whole mouth of replacement done for as little as under $40,000. At home in Canada, it will cost you over $90,000. So a lot of people come here just to have cosmetic surgery done or to have their teeth taken care of here in Costa Rica. Okay, now we're on the education part. For your kids here in Costa Rica, a lot of parents are worried that their kids aren't going to get a good education in Costa Rica. That's incorrect. We actually do have three different systems. We have the public system, we have forestry school, and we have Journey School, which is affiliated with the universities and the credits in the USA. So we do have good options for your kids when it comes to schooling your kids here in Costa Rica. Now we're going to talk about taxes in Costa Rica. There's three different types of taxes: property taxes, income taxes, and capital gain taxes. Property taxes. Property taxes, I'll give you an example. Let's say a house is $400,000, okay? Here in Costa Rica compared to a house that's $400,000 in the US and Canada. In Costa Rica, $400,000, you're gonna pay anywhere between $600 to $700 a year for property taxes. Yes, you heard me right, not a month, it's a year, because we know in Canada and the US, depending on where you live, that could be $600, $700 a month. Everything here is on a yearly basis. And then it goes up from there. The way it works, it's 0.025% of the value of your home will determine what your taxes are gonna be. Number two, we're gonna talk about income tax. Now, in Canada, US, you're only allowed to write off a certain amount when you have an incorporation or a business. In Costa Rica, you can write off 100%. So our income tax here will range anywhere from 20 up to 30% on whatever it is that you bring and you make in Costa Rica. It's a lot less than in Canada and the US, where you're 45 all the way up to over 50%. Okay guys, capital gains tax here in Costa Rica. The way capital gains taxes works here in Costa Rica in general is, let's say you have a house that's $1 million. You bought it for $500,000, you sold it for $1 million. You're not gonna pay capital gains on the entire amount that you sold it for. Any part of the profit, the $500,000, is what you pay the capital gains on. So it can either be 15% or it can be all the way up to 25%. It's only on the profit that you make of the home that you sell here in Costa Rica as your secondary home in Costa Rica. Video number 5. In this video here, we're gonna talk about investing in Costa Rica, but we're also gonna talk about building in Costa Rica. Now we're gonna give you 3 real life examples of property investments in Costa Rica, and we're gonna break the numbers down for you. Let's assume you buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom place for $350,000. Look at Costa Rica Playbook. We actually have one of these properties right now for you. Assume a conservative rental occupancy of 70%. At an average rate nightly about $180, that's not considering high times, peak times, and all that. At $180 would equal $45,990. That's a nice little income of $45,990 per year on your investment of only $350,000. Now, if you were to look back at home Surf the net and see what property would you find for $350,000 that is turnkey, walking distance to the beach, walking distance to entertainment. I guarantee you're not going to find anything at this value that will bring you a return on investment the way that this property will. Okay guys, example number 2. We have a house in Uvita that's listed at $1.49 million. Last year, it brought in $122,499.88. Hosting fees were $4,152. They netted $118,347.14. Now talk about profit. This year, they're on track to do 1.5 times the amount of what they did last year. Here is your third and final example. This home at $529,000, fully furnished, in 19 days brought in over $10,245. It's renting out for over $600 a night. Take a look at all these bookings and this house is still available. So let's break this down. Let's be modest and let's assume at $500 a night, at a 70% occupancy rate, this house will generate $127,750 a year of income. All right, guys, now let's talk about mortgages here in Costa Rica. When purchasing a property in Costa Rica, mortgages in Costa Rica are not like North America. Majority of people will have to go through a private lender, so keep that in mind. Interest rates can be anywhere from 10 up to 25%. Costa Rica Playbook, we will help you get the lowest interest payment and an extended mortgage here in Costa Rica. The minimal requirement to receive a mortgage here in Costa Rica from a private lender is 50% down and they will finance the other 50%. Now I'm going to give you an example. If you were to buy a home at $500,000 US dollars and you put $250,000 down and you're going to finance the other $250,000 at a 10% interest rate, amortized over the year, your payment would be $2,008 per month of interest only on $250,000 US dollars for you. Next, we're going to talk about building versus buying. There's a lot of different styles and architects here in Costa Rica. So if you want to purchase something, make sure when you're buying a house, you know the different steps when you're buying a house. Is it block construction? Is it lightweight construction? Is it pad on grade? If it's on the side of a mountain, does it have slope testing? These are the important things to make sure. And with Costa Rica Playbook, we will help decipher for you if the house is going to be a proper fit for you. Now, take a look at the houses that we've chose on our website specifically for you at Costa Rica Playbook. The reason why we have a limited selected amount of houses, we have personally gone through these homes and made sure that they're going to be up to the standards of a North American or of European. If something on there does not suit your taste of home, we will assist and help you when it comes to building a house in Costa Rica. Now just keep in mind when building a house, it can take anywhere from 10 months to build. The process can take up to 2 years, depending on the size and the quality of build you want. Let's talk about the different qualities of build. This is an important factor here in Costa Rica. First of all, you want to know the demographics in the area that you're purchasing. If you're buying land at a cheaper price, about $50,000 or $100,000, and you're in the flats of Costa Rica, the value of your land isn't going to go up significantly. So this will decipher on what it is you want to do. Is this an investment or is this a property that you're going to move into and live into and grow old in? Let's talk about the builds. We have 2 different types of builds. We have lightweight construction and we have block construction. Lightweight construction will cost you half the price of what a block construction and it'll take you half amount of time. Price-wise per square foot, if you're doing a lightweight construction, it can be anywhere from $140, $150 US per square foot compared if you're going to do block construction. Block construction can be anywhere from $175 up exceeding over $300 per square foot, depending on the finishes and the quality of house that you build. Guys, this is video 6. I hope all the information you found in this course was useful to you and is helping you make the decision to make the move to Costa Rica. Remember, now, if you have any questions, big or small, about relocating to Costa Rica, please don't hesitate, reach out to us. We're available 24/7. I also have one more gift for you. We have a 20-question questionnaire at the bottom of this video. This is gonna help you plan your move to Costa Rica. I hope you found the information informative and helpful and useful for you. Pure Vida, and I can't wait to see you in Costa Rica.